right, what's up, everyone? And thank you for tuning in to a special episode on FitSock Sports Network of the schedule release reaction show for the Miami Dolphins. Smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you. Evan Posner's in the house. Evan's been busy. He was just producing Huddle Up and Wait. I was dealing with a headache, so he took care of that for me, but I think he likes it, so I don't think it's that much of a problem.
I like making fun of those guys.
Yes. But
Zach's a cool guy. Zach's part of my tribe, so it was nice to meet him.
Oh, there you go. Very cool. Let me go ahead and put this here.
It's nice. He's a Dolphins fan, and he's a Panthers fan, so it was nice to chat with him.
There you go. Rob of DolphinsThirsty.com is tuning in. Man, he is a true diehard Dolphin fan. He is always, always in the morning. Good morning, guys. He's so positive. Good night. Love Rob, one of the best dudes on Dolphins Twitter right now. If you haven't gone to his website, DolphinsThirsty.com, you're missing out. You should. I'm sure he's going to have some great content on the schedule. I'm working on stuff for the website in regards of where the Dolphins rank amongst the NFL and the AFC. But that is not why we are here tonight, Evan. Evan, the Dolphins, the NFL has released the Miami Dolphins schedule. We knew who they were playing, but we did not know when. John in the house says, Evan, going to produce 60 Minutes next. Yeah, he is getting to big things. I got this was from Alex, my brother from another mother, but I thought it was nice to have it with us today.
Very
Best
cool.
friends, stepbrothers.
Very cool.
So, man, let me tell you. Let me pull this up for a second because I don't want to miss it. I'll have it here. So a lot of positive feedback from Dolphin fans from the initial reactions of the NFL schedule. I want to go, Evan, first off, we're going to look at the schedule. We're going to give our initial reaction. But I want to go over each game, kind of just saying, man, what do we like? What do we dislike about this game? And just go from there. Evan, you got the Dolphins going. G-Man in the house. G-Man already going with shooting some fire. I love it. G-Man, thank you, brother. Thank you for tuning in. Good evening. But, hey, yeah, it's later than usual that we usually do this. Of course, I do 9:30.
I love it.
It's 10 o'clock Eastern. So I thank everyone who's watching. So put your comments below. Tell me what you think about this schedule. Let's go ahead and pull it up and discuss what how the Dolphins schedule looks like. I had something pulled up here, but yeah, I'll pull this up. I think that might be better. Or let's take a look at this one. No, I like the other one better.
I like that one better.
Yeah, I like that one better. All right.
For us old people.
Yeah, that's right. So, my goodness. All right. So, starting off the season, I love week 1. That is going to be a good game to start.
I love that game.
Yes. Starts us off in Los Angeles against the Chargers. There's a lot of noise, a lot of, these two quarterbacks are going to be pit against each other for the rest of their careers as long as they're in the NFL. This is the right way to start for Dolphin fans if Miami could get a win here against the Chargers. In week 2, they travel from LA to New England for Sunday Night Football against the New England Patriots. Week 3, go back home, play in Denver. Again, we play against Denver. And week 4, travel to Buffalo, which is great. Big news for Miami. Don't have to travel to the cold weather. They play at Buffalo early on. Yeah. Then they play the Giants in week 5 at home. The Panthers with Bryce Young in week 6. Then they have a real tough matchup, but should be a fun matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles on primetime in Philly. Travel back home, play New England in week 8. Then this game, I'm going to have some thoughts on this game, but they go to Germany to play the Kansas City Chiefs.
I love that.
Big game, awesome game, and I'm going to tell you why I love it too. If it was in Kansas City, I'd maybe have a different opinion.
Yeah.
But because it's in Germany, I have some good feelings. Then they take a bye. Perfect part of the season, they take a bye.
Perfect.
Beautiful. It's just supposedly the Dolphins have the second
toughest schedule,
most difficult schedule. But so far, the way it's played out, I like what I see. Week 11, the Las Vegas Raiders. Then on Black Friday in week 12, they go to New York to face Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Then they go to Washington in week 13. They face Tennessee on Monday Night Football in Miami. Then they play in Miami. They stay in Miami for 3 more weeks. Play the Jets in week 15. The Cowboys in week 16. Then travel to Baltimore to go against whoever's the quarterback there if he's healthy. He only played 12 games in 2 years, 24 games total. That's at Baltimore. And then finishes the season, possibly, depending how it all falls out, how it all plays out.
That's going to be flex. That's going to be so flex.
NFC East title, the Buffalo Bills at home in Miami. So, Evan, I want to go through each. We don't have to go in detail. We don't want to hold everybody up.
No.
But your initial reaction looking at this schedule, yes, there are some tough games. There's no doubt. But what are your initial thoughts, though, on this schedule, man?
My initial thoughts are not even looking at the middle. It's beginning and end. I love the fact that they're going out west at the beginning of the season and getting that out of the way. They're not going to have that West Coast swing because they do have a lot of travel throughout the season. I love that because you get that real challenge out of the way. And the one thing I love about that game is sort of a revenge game for Tua and McDaniel. Plus, you have Brandon Staley, who's very much utilizing a Vic Fangio scheme, going against Vic Fangio, who's now going to be able to put a scheme on Justin Herbert and put that seed of doubt in Justin Herbert for the rest of the season. I love that. But then what I love about it is the end of the season. To know that you have three, when you're going to be fighting in a dogfight of the NFC, of the AFC, and my apologies, the fact that you know that you literally have 4 of your 5 last games at home, the fact that you have the tougher schedule at the front and the lighter schedule, not lighter schedule, but the home games at the end, that was the biggest struggle last season, that they ended the season outside of the Jets, the last game of the year. They ended it by going to in December. They had to go to San Francisco. They had to go to LA. They had to go to Buffalo. That was all of our freak out. That was going to be the big test. The fact that they get to do the Dallas game, the fact they get to do the Tennessee game, the fact they get to do all those games at the end of the year is phenomenal that we're going to be at home. That's so good for the Miami Dolphin fans. You have so many Dolphin fans coming down for the Christmas holidays. The fact that you get to have Tennessee, the Jets, the Cowboys, and the Bills towards the end of the year, I think is a phenomenal gift for the Dolphins, and I think it's going to be phenomenal. I love that part of it because you're giving the Dolphins fans, you're giving our crowd and that stadium the chance to shine at the end of the season, which I love. That's what I love. You know what? There are no more excuses for the Dolphins. When they went on the road, prove what you can do. This upcoming season, to know that you have the end of the season where it's in your hands all at home, that shows the moxie of this team, that they can prove to their fans that they are the team that we all expect them to be. So I love that part of it. I love it.
Absolutely. So I know everybody's already kind of making their predictions, and it's fair.
Yeah, I'm not making predictions.
But to me, it's still a little early, just because the Dolphins are working currently on making more moves. Okay, they are talking to offensive linemen. Dalvin Cook is still on the table. I'm not going to wait. I would wait until after June 1st. Let that initial period pass. Mm-hmm. Then you start making your predictions. Do not rush into it right now. But we could talk about what we like and dislike about this schedule. Okay. Again, we talked about week 1 against the Chargers in LA. These two, first off, the draft right there, 3 top quarterbacks with Burrow, Herbert, Tua, all played well. Of course, there's always question marks with everybody. Okay. And we know as Dolphin fans what the questions are on Tua. But Tua and Herbert are going to be pit against each other for the rest of their careers, as I said earlier, until one of them calls it quits, whoever that may be. This game is going to be such a benchmark on how to start the year. Okay, no doubt. All right, Miami, if Tua and Miami beat the Chargers in LA to start off the season before going and traveling to New England, it's going to be a good start for the Miami Dolphins and Tua, who is looking to prove to everybody. Like we saw, obviously, with 8-3, we saw what he could do with this offense, with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. Now, you assume with A-Chain, the running back, they're going to be a more balanced offense. How is he going to look at a more balanced offense? How is he going to look in year 2 in the same offensive system under McDaniel? That's all going to be on the table. It's not the start of the season that we're concerned with. It's the second half of the season, and it's can he last through the season? G-Man already made a joke in the comments. Wins the game that Tua is going to get hurt. What week? So this game is this is really going to set the benchmark for your season. How Tua performs against Herbert. I don't have it in front of me. What was the?
Can I make a very good point though? Good point though?
Oh, you already think it's a good point?
No. Before you say your point, the one thing that people have to remember is that our biggest free agent player of these our biggest asset for acquisition during the offseason gets to go back home. He
Yeah.
literally is playing in the exact same stadium he's played for the last 3 years. To have Jalen Ramsey go back into SoFi, it's like literally like that's where he last played. It's like he knows that stadium, he knows the setup, he knows the atmosphere. That for me, like I want to go, I just want to make that point before I forgot. Like that is huge. It's like for him, it's like I just played there, easy peasy. It's perfect.
It's
I
just a
love that part.
perfect game. I'm first off, I'm glad it's not the Patriots in week 1 again. I was really nervous that it was going to be the Patriots versus the Dolphins again. I mean, gosh, at least they pushed it a week, but it's going to be an exciting game. Eyes are going to be on it. It's in the afternoon, 4:00 Eastern
Perfect for
time.
our post-game show, by the way. Perfect for our first game post-game show, right?
Post-game show, absolutely.
Perfect right after, right? Instant reaction. We can do it right after. Literally right after the game.
I'm thinking that's how I kind of want to do it this year.
Yeah.
I want to do
literally after the game.
Initial reaction, post-game, instead of waiting till 8:00. No, let's just do it. Yeah. Let's roll. Okay. So, again, I don't want to kind of go on predictions, but you guys are more than welcome in the comments who's tuning in. Tell me what you think and how it may play out against the Chargers. I'm going to hold off on my predictions, but I'm saying why.
Don't be freezing on us already, Bobby. Bobby froze on us, guys. So what he was trying to say, and G-Man, you can start off. What do you think is going to happen in that first game? Are they going to get off to a good start? That's what we need to say. So while we wait for Bobby to come back in, we're waiting for him to unfreeze. We'll see what he's about to do. I'm just going to take him out here until he moves himself again. I'll keep going until he adds himself again and unfreezes himself, because we can both produce at the same time. But guys, I just want to get your feedback on what do you think about what's going to happen in the Chargers game. Put your predictions in there. Don't forget to like and subscribe at the same time. I really appreciate everyone watching so far. But for me, I just really enjoy that game. I think the Vic Fangio scheme, I think the whole structure of this game is going to be for Tua, the real test to put himself against Herbert. I think this offense is going to shine in this first game. But the one thing I think people have to realize is that you can't decide on what your roster is going to be today, because who knows if Austin Eckler's even going to be a Charger starting game 1. We don't know what's going to be. You coming back here, Bobby?
Yeah, something happened with the computer, dude. I don't know what just occurred, but I'm on my phone now.
Okay.
You got to handle the images for now until this decides to reboot. But I'm sorry. Finish your point.
No, my point was that we want to make sure. I was telling people if they want to make any predictions in the comments, but at the same time, I was saying that why this game is perfect is it gives Tua the chance to get revenge. It gives a chance for Fangio to bring out his defense, McDaniel to learn from what he did last time by having the support of his defense, unlike they did last game. But the key thing also to remember is that Chargers, last time we played, were playing against a very injured, riddled defense. They did not have a healthy Howard and a healthy Jalen Ramsey to go against Allen and Williams. Also, we don't even know if Eckler is going to be there. If Eckler's not there and they're relying on Isaiah Spiller, it's going to be a completely different offense. So for me, the scheme going into this, it's very early to predict, but it's a very sexy matchup for that particular game. And I think they already have that game planned to be on CBS that first game, and I guarantee that will be a lead game for them. So so for me, that's what I really think. This game for me is just really the test. It doesn't make me nervous because of the fact that we've been there before, and it's sort of like that mindset of we just need to show what we learned from our mistakes. And that for me, this is the best test for McDaniel, because of all the games he coached outside of the goofs he had in getting away from the running game and getting against 2 games against Buffalo and 4th and 1, whatever. His worst coach game. His most difficult coach game where he couldn't adjust was against the Chargers. So I'm sure he's licking his chops. Also, I just want to point out, we had an amazing video for the launch of the season, the movie theater. Go watch it if you haven't had a chance to see it, Bobby. It was phenomenal. The Dolphins every team did their own intros of their schedule. It was phenomenal with the different movies, Meet the Blockers, all this. It was great. Happy Cleats, it was great. But the Chargers also did this anime, like they did the anime that they did last year. But they have in the first one, which is with McDaniel, they have him vaping, which is hilarious. So you don't think he's watching that? Give me a break. But I'm just telling you, for me, it's such a sexy matchup for me. I love it.
So very quick, yeah, guys, sorry. My computer, for whatever reason, had some sort of error and rebooted itself, which is always great when you're live, but that's what happens when you're live. We're never recorded. We're live. That's how we do it here at the Fitz Talk Sports Network. But I'm back. I did take a trip to the Twilight Zone. Evan makes a lot of great points. That is a lot of people criticize Mike McDaniel, his coaching and the way he coached that game against the Chargers. And of course, a lot of people put it on Tua because it was Tua versus Herbert, but McDaniel, had a very bad game as a coach. So this would be a great redemption game for both the quarterback and the coach.
Yeah.
Week 2, as we
go home first.
Yeah. And week 2, they go against the New England Patriots. It's at New England. I always say, I know New England is not the team it used to be. That is not an understatement or anything like that. It is what it is. But it's still the New England Patriots. They're still in the AFC East. The AFC East is going to be a damn tough division for the AFC East. It's going to be a fight. Of course, you're live. Couldn't do the show dead.
I already posted it.
Ha 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 ha!
He always thinks it's funny.
Not alive. I'm doing it live instead of recorded. But I know that's good. But G-Man says he is more concerned about the end of the schedule. Or in December. And we're going to go over that. This thing is taking a year, but that's okay. I'll just let it roll, and Evan could probably with the schedule. But yeah, against the New England Patriots, who's going to be their quarterback? Is it Mac Jones? We're waiting on that. I'm not really. I'm happy we play the Patriots in week 2. Yeah. The Dolphins have a strong possibility to go 2-0 to start the year, and it could be an impressive 2-0. New England might be I think the Chargers could be a high-scoring game. Patriots might be a closer game. Usually, how it is when you play your division rival.
Yeah,
but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, but Sunday Night Football. I think they're also gonna. I think the Patriots have the first game's gonna be a little nerve-wracking with Tom Brady coming back. On prime time, it doesn't bother me at all. Like to be on the road, I'm totally cool with that. When we had early seasons with us, we struggled at home on prime time, but I like the fact that we're going there. We've never had real struggles. Tua's never lost, has hardly ever lost to New England when he's played. If you actually look at his career, so it doesn't really affect me much. But.
Let's see here. See if I can get this rebooted here as we are live. So going back to Miami, playing the Denver Broncos, who struggled last year, and we know, if you're thinking of the Denver Broncos of last season, you're not worried. However, Sean Payton's their new coach. Russell Wilson, you can't imagine have the type of year he had last year. And I'm going to wait for the final roster, but that could be a tough game. That could be a very tough game for Miami. I'm saying you start season 2-0. It is at home. That's fair. Make sure I have everything here. I might be able to get myself back in.
But also, that's another revenge game for Fangio, right? Like that's a perfect game for Fangio, right?
Absolutely.
And that's his home opener to show the Dolphin fans what he's doing. So it sort of plays itself well. It does play itself well.
It does, absolutely. Let me go ahead and see if I pop myself back here.
No problem. You're back. There you go. I'll move you over so you can go.
I am here, but let's see. All right.
How am I not going to be worried in December? Because we have
I have an issue with my headphones.
We have a lot of depth, man. That's what the difference is this year. We actually did the smart thing in the end when we look back on getting Cam Smith and getting a chain. We actually have depth of many positions, and they're going to take care of the offensive line in the month of June. They're going to go take care of advancing the running game. We're very deep at all these positions, so it doesn't bother me at all. And we get to play at home, not in the cold. We're not going to have to travel. People are going to be able to rehab more easily at home. I have less concerns about that. And Sean Payton, yes, he makes a huge difference, but he took a year off. He's adapted to a quarterback that had a step back. Last season, he's not the same age of what Drew Brees was a couple of years when he first took over with Drew Brees. And the team is not a stacked team. Judy almost got traded last year. Sean Payton has a lot to prove this year.
Yeah, he does, but it could go both ways. They could start off hot, they could, or they could start off slow. But I think they have. I'm less worried about the Jets than I would be of the Broncos. Christopher Jones, man, thank you for tuning in. Sean isn't a fan of Tua. He felt Teddy should have been the Finn starter. He'd love to cut Tua down to size.
Let him.
Well, he did make that comment. He did make the comment that
Who cares?
he believed Teddy Bridgewater should start. So, but that would be good for Tua for this game because it's a Tua revenge game. It's time for Tua to show maybe the Super Bowl winning coach doesn't really know everything. So, again, holding off on predictions, but I think that is a game to keep an eye on in regards of Miami. Home opener for the Finso. That's true. Fans are going to be fired up. Fans like the one and only Fish Tank Hank who has season tickets. Fans like Dolph Freaky and etc. These hardcore fans.
Big E.
Those guys, the Dolphin fans are on a high right now with this season. We all are. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough home game an away game for Denver. Good home game for Dolphin fans and the Miami Dolphins. But we'll see how it plays out. And of course, we'll make our predictions on a later show. All right. So week 4, Evan. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Let's see if I can get it since everything's working now. All right. So at Buffalo. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. At Buffalo. What's great about this game, this is what I love about this game. It's going to be a tough game. I'm not sleeping on the Buffalo Bills. I'm not going to pretend they're going to take a giant step back. I'm going to tell you, it could be a loss. I'm not ready to answer that yet, but I'll tell you why I love this game. It's not week 17, 18, 16. Yeah. That's why I love this game. Miami is out of the snow. That's why they have the best chance to win this game. Still going to be a damn tough game, Evan. But
any time you go to Buffalo is a tough game.
Gives Miami a bigger chance to win. A better chance to win.
A bigger chance to win. I can tell you, the last time we walked into Buffalo, we walked in broken, hobbled, third-string quarterback, and we lost by 3. This time we're going in early in the season with a much improved roster of adding players and adding coaches. Buffalo has not done anything significant in the offseason to make their team better. They've lost a lot of star power. They've lost coaches. They've added some draft picks, but draft picks take time to develop. So they're not going to have them overnight. Their best draft pick is a tight end. Tight ends take the longest to develop. We know that here in Miami more than anybody. I'm totally cool with them going to Buffalo, and because it's actually a warm time and it's Sunday 1 o'clock start, I might be able to make that game. I'll just wake up and I'll just drive. I might make that game. It'll be warm, and me in the stadium, Alan's gonna have fits.
So, see, I hear that a lot, and you're not the only one who's saying that about Buffalo taking a step back. That they didn't.
Because the pressure. Yeah.
The problem with that is that good to great teams or very good teams have it every year where they lose a coach. A coach gets promoted or hired somewhere else and whatever.
But they've lost every year.
Huh?
They lost Dable last year, and the offense was not phenomenal last year. It was very much Josh Allen based, but you could easily see he pressed the ball, leader in interceptions last year. And then the defense now, I know people are not crying over Leslie Frazier, but that defense was strong, and they lost their best middle linebacker.
Oh, they should cry over Leslie Frazier. I think people.
And they lost Tremaine Edmonds, who was their stout linebacker. They haven't really filled those gaping holes. And so for me, yes, are Buffalo still as strong? Oh, absolutely. But the difference was that their window was the last 2-3 years when Miami was trying to rebuild and the Jets sucked. Now you have two teams that are much more competitive and actually have more star power than the Bills do. If you look at the Bills, you can think of Von Miller. When you talk top of mind, you think of Von Miller. I know it's on paper, but you think of Von Miller, Josh Allen, and Stephon Diggs.
Chris,
the other team they're facing.
Absolutely, Josh. Wingate in the house.
Yeah. I really cry about the Heat in Miami. I've seen Tua hurt. That's so funny. But anyway, so for me, that doesn't bother me. The star power we have going to these games is the structure of the team. Also, a lot of these games are revenge games for us, right? Like those first couple games. First game, we have the revenge of last year. New England, we always play tough games, but we always want to shove it in our face of a rival. Third game is a Fangio revenge game. The fourth game is saying if Tua was there, he would have won that game, and McDaniel doesn't want to make that mistake again. Those first 4 weeks are perfect for us to get the cobwebs out and basically atone for last year's mistakes.
Yeah, it's really in favor. Again, I'm going to try to go to the New Year's Eve game in Baltimore. That's awesome. That is awesome. We got to figure something out. We got to definitely figure something out. We got to go to.
Well, we're trying to figure out the Philadelphia game, right? Because that's Sunday Night Football. That's awesome.
That would be a lot of fun. Week 5, New York Giants. can't be slept on. They had a very good season. They're on the up. They had a good draft. I'm not making predictions here, but I think Miami's okay. I think if everything.
You want to know what because the one thing I'll tell you about the Giants, because they got a lot of primetime games because they're a
New York
because they're New York, but at the same time for the Giants, Daniel Jones. I looked at his stats today. How many interceptions he threw for touchdowns he threw last year? He threw 15. He threw 15 touchdowns, but he ran for 7 and ran for almost 700 yards.
Yep.
What I want to say about that is that's a lot to repeat. And he also has the pressure of making $40-something million this year. There's a lot of pressure to repeat their success.
But let me just say, can I just say, because you know me, I'm not a hater on Daniel Jones. You know better than anybody because of what I like Daniel Jones coming out, and I think I'm not saying he's going to be anything big. I don't think he's worth that money, but you have to, if you believe in him, I think. Oh my goodness, Brian Daboll did what for Daniel Jones what McDaniel has done for Tua. We know Daniel Jones is not an elite quarterback. He's an okay. He got the best out of Daniel Jones. He knows what. That's why. Hey, you know what? He's worked with Josh Allen, who we could say is an elite type of quarterback. He said, you know what? We're gonna go re-sign him. We need to re-sign him. So that tells you what he believes in that young man as a quarterback.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, because like you said, you look at the touchdown passes, you go, that's not that. But then you look at the running touchdowns, you go, oh well, damn. Okay, he knows how to use them. Does that get better in year 2, or does it kind of fall flat? Does he have a sophomore slump? That's the same issue with Miami. So I think Miami's more talented than the Giants.
The thing is, though, that the reason why I'm not as concerned is that when you look at that game compared to, for example, New England, if Tua is healthy, as we all expect him to be, a lot of those games, the LA game, I think is going to be a first struggle, but I think there's offense on both sides. The New England game, it's really about the defense. The Cincinnati game, the Denver game is really about the defense of Fangio trying to stressful Russell Wilson and our offense being able to be successful. In week 4, it's going to be a slugfest because it's Buffalo. In this game, all our defense needs to do is get to Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. Our offense, the one thing, if you go look,
this should be a defensive game.
No. But the one thing about the Giants, they don't put up points. They don't put up a lot of points. So if we could put up 24, 27 points, it's an easy win for us. We just our offense needs to be successful. That's all that I'm really for. And we have to maintain the running quarterback, right? Because this guy did run for 700 yards last year and 7 touchdowns.
Yep.
You do need to be able to stifle that run. I think Fangio's defense will do that.
So Carolina Panthers, they got their franchise quarterback, Bryce Young. They're still a growing team. I'm not concerned. Yeah, I'm not concerned. We'll see how the rest of the offseason plays out, but that should be a W for everybody on the schedule. Week 7 is going to be a damn tough game. It's going to be a fun game.
But
it's going to be
a crazy game. But remember, who knows who was there last year to consult on our offense? Who consulted that offense in the Super Bowl? Vic Fangio. Who consulted with that team last year? Vic Fangio. And that for Tua is, I beat this guy out once. This guy got $50 million contract when we were drafted the same year. I am trying to get my money now. I am on next year. I know I have to play under that 5th-year option. But you want to know what? They might sign me to an extension if I prove my worth. This is a Tua. This is the perfect game for Tua to say, you want to know what? I came in the championship game and I took it away from Jalen Hurts. I'm going to take away the sunshine from him again. This is a phenomenal. This is a game for Tua where he could truly make his mark and his stamp. Where if he wins this football game and goes toe to toe with the Philadelphia Eagles in that week 7 and we're able to get out of that football game and go toe to toe against that defense and against Jalen Hurts, he's going to be definitely called that Monday morning. He's going to be called an elite quarterback. He will be called an elite quarterback.
So it looks like Rob of DolphinsThursday.com also is
I think they're going to lose. G-Man, I never said that. I said they're competitive.
He says he's going to the Panthers game. Josh Wingate of Beer and Sports is going to the Baltimore game. They are both trying to, I guess, advocate for the network as a whole to try to go to one of these games. I'm telling you, Evan thinks the Dolphins aren't going to lose. Nope. Remember, let me just say this. Can I say this?
No predictions yet.
There's no real predictions. I think it's fair. I think it's right. I think what you're saying at least the Fangio point is a fair point.
Yeah.
But I think Philadelphia is going to be a very tough game. I think Philadelphia's for real. they got way better in the draft. They got way better in free agency. There are, we could say Buffalo didn't get better or not to our opinion, but Philadelphia did. So that is definitely. But imagine if the Dolphins did pull that out. Imagine if Tua outplayed Jalen Hurts, who Tua was an MVP a candidate at the start of the season up in 8-3. Hurts was an MVP candidate up until the end of last season. He got the mega deal. Yeah. If Tua can outplay or match up and win a game against Jalen Hurts, and I'm not talking about relying on the defense, having a bad game, relying on defense. He won that game. BS. If he could go up and go toe-to-toe with Jalen Hurts on performance-wise and plays up and leads his team to a win, there should not be that many discussions on Tua at that point of the season. Philly game is an impossible spot. Could be. I don't think Evan's saying it's not impossible, but we're not making predictions. He's just giving the reason why it could not be. Week 8 in Miami against the Patriots again.
That's going to be a boring game.
Yeah, I think a lot of the New England games are going to be close. Week 9, Kansas City. It says at Kansas City in Germany.
You're going to have to wake up early, buddy. It's a 7:30 start for you, I think.
Yes, it is. But
you're going to be up that early? Are we going to do a pregame show at 6:30?
Oh my gosh, I don't know about that, but a postgame show for sure. Look, I would count this, and again, I'm not gonna make predictions, but I would say it would have been a prediction here, because it's Kansas City, and I think the Dolphins can put up a good fight against Kansas City. But if this was in Arrowhead against Kansas City, no matter who's at quarterback, if Tua is healthy, I would have said this is probably a Kansas City Chiefs win. I feel comfortable saying that because this is in Germany. They took away a Chiefs home game. I don't know, man. This is I don't want to make predictions, but this is leaning towards a Dolphins win, in my opinion. Just because the Dolphins have a better chance to win now. I'll say it like that because it's in Germany.
Yeah.
Because it's in Germany.
No, I think it's great. I think honestly, people were talking about the whole Tyreek Hill thing going back. That will last for about 5 seconds in the game.
Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah.
No one cares about that. And also, that should affect more the Chiefs than it does the Dolphins. It's actually a great time for the Dolphins to go away. It will give them a different perspective. It will be fun. McDaniel will be there. It's going to be a fun experience for them. And it's not the same team we had last time. And like you said, it's a neutral site. It doesn't matter. It's a neutral site. And you want to know what? You know what the big difference is? I'm about to make this prediction, and I know this, and you know this. Dolphin fans travel more than Chief fans. Maybe. Yeah. So Dolphin fans are in Europe. They're in the UK. They're there. We know it. We have podcasts. But people are talking more about the Dolphins around the world than they are talking about the Chiefs in terms of being fans. So for me, I think you're going to see more Dolphin fans in that crowd that day than you're going to see Chief fans. It's going to feel more like a Dolphins home game than it will be a Chiefs game. I promise you that. That's what I predict.
So, yeah, that's going to be a fun game. That's going to be a fun game. But I think Miami has a strong chance to win that game because it's in Germany and more because I think it kind of balances out the playing field. Both teams are going to be kind of burnt out. I'm not sleeping on the Chiefs. I'm not saying that Dolphins are going to win that for sure, but I'm saying Dolphins have a better chance to win it because it's in Germany. All right. So we go ahead here and take a look at week 10. The Dolphins have a bye.
Great.
That's a perfect spot. Right in the half point. Perfect spot.
Yeah, 2 years ago, we made the mistake and we played a game right after we played Jacksonville, and that was a disaster.
Let's see. Rob's back. All right. Jackson Mahomes can't lead the country. I wish he could. They can beat the Chiefs. But I get G-Man's point though about the Eagles. I don't want to disregard what he's saying because it's true. At night, on the road, under the bright lights, a Super Bowl contending team, it's a tall order. It will be a tough game against Philly. Miami has a better chance of beating the Chiefs than they do the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 7.
Yeah.
That I agree. I'll DVR it. We'll be in the air about 6:30 a.m. here in Vegas. I had to see the movie thing again and stay until the post credits. Okay. All right. So after Week 10, they go home after having a trip in Germany, go home, get to take a week off, and then play against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
they're a development team. I
got to look at the final roster. I got to look at how it plays out. But right now, initially, I'm not concerned about the Raiders right now.
They have no tight ends right now. Who they have? They lost Foster Moreau. They lost Darren Waller.
Yeah.
Yes, you have Jimmy G going with Devontae Adams, but their team last year, even with a more stacked roster last year struggled. They're not showing the team that built their team to be better this year. We'll see what happens.
So next is Black Friday. New York Jets in New York. Finally.
First Black Friday
game. Yeah, first ever Black Friday game. Dolphins defense goes up against the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. If he is still there or he's not hurt or the Jets have totally imploded, because I do believe they are on atomic mode. I mean, if the Jets start, I haven't looked at their schedule. Maybe I could pull that up in a second. But
Maurice Jones, one of the guys, has them like going 14-3 based on their schedule, and I find that laughable.
I'm sorry. That's just
But
I see, that's nice when people go, have you ever played the game? You ever put a jock strap? Sometimes people who do that just don't make sense.
No, but the thing with the Jets is that, yes, they are a very good team. But one player who struggled last year, adding to a new team doesn't guarantee success. It's football. Anything can happen. And on that game, Miami gets to be in a hotel the day before. They're not going to be with their families on Thanksgiving. They won't be they won't be high on tryptophan. The Jets are going to be home, comfortable. They're not going to. They're going to be with their families. They're going to be exhausted. They're going to be hungover, and the Dolphins are going to take that game because it's still going to be warm in New York
all right.
At the end of November. That game doesn't scare me one iota. Not one iota.
So.
And Tua wasn't there last year when we played the Jets.
Yeah, but neither was Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is not Aaron Rodgers of old. He's not the Aaron Rodgers of 2 years ago.
But still, listen, I just said they have a big thing to implode. If they lose like the first 2, 3, 4 weeks, if they're any part, like if they're 500 in week 6, week 5, I think Joe Douglas, who I like, Robert Saleh, they could be out of the job pretty quick. If they underachieve, they're out of a job, and it's very fast how quick this could blow up. Because he could be and it maybe not a flop, just doesn't gel. Let me just say very quick before that, because I'm looking at the Jets schedule, and so not too different from Miami to start it out. Okay, but they got the Bills in week 1. They got the Patriots in week 2, Broncos week 3, Chargers week 5. You got a bye week pretty damn early.
How can they have
I'm sorry. No. But I'm sorry. What a stupid way they put their schedule. Buffalo week 1, Dallas week 2, Patriots week 3, Kansas City week 4. What was the record he gave?
14-3.
He's full of shit.
13-4, like it was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
4.
He thought they were going to. They said they were going to be 3-0 after the first 3 games and lose their first game against Kansas City. I was shocked.
5.
Like Dallas is no slouch.
Let me just say, let's say if they play up to their potential, I count at least 5 losses. Okay, if they are 5 losses, so that's just, I don't know how somebody just take your damn fan glasses off. But fun fact: Eagles gave up 44 sacks. They have 3 offensive line players selected the Pro Bowl. Dolphins gave up 35 sacks. Christopher Jones with the fun fact. Appreciate it, Christopher. Everyone tuning in, thank you so much. We are live with our initial reaction to the Miami Dolphins schedule release. Put your thoughts below of what you in the chat, what you think, how you feel about the Dolphins schedule.
I'd love to go to that game. It's just going to be so expensive to get to that game because it's literally Thanksgiving weekend. Because I know one of the fans, I know a bunch of the people from Miami and across the country like to go to that game because there's a fan club, Dolphins NYC, where they put everything together and you can go and there's a big
live takeover.
A live takeover. And I'd love to go do that. The question is, how do you get there on Thanksgiving? It's going to be insanity.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Dolphin fans who do that every year. They are complaining about it. They are not happy with that.
Yeah, because I could drive there in theory. Like if I wanted to go do it, I could drive and you could stay in Jersey or whatever. But where are you going to find a hotel? How are you going to afford that this year? It's going to be crazy cost.
No way.
Yeah.
Let me see something very quick. I don't want to miss out. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 12 and 5. One person has it. That's what you say.
Oh, they have it. By the way, most predictors like Bleacher Report have us going 9-8, and I go, and honestly, like I literally think it's because of Tua. Like I said on the previous show on the when I did the Real Talk Vince Talk. But like, in the end, for me, I think they're just waiting for if we get another star player on offense or we fix the offensive line, then people's minds going to change. So I think honestly, what people think of the Dolphins right now and what they think of them in a month is going to be very, very different.
Absolutely. So we'll move it on here. The Commanders not too concerned with that. Tennessee Titans. Who's playing?
Going to be the quarterback?
Yeah, is it Will Levis? Is Ryan Tannehill? How's Derrick Henry doing at that point? That could be a tough game. But I'm not really concerned. I think Miami could pull that out.
I do.
You're on drugs. Week 15. I'm just playing. Week 15 against the Jets at home. I think in New York might be a concern. At home, I'm not too worried. Dallas Cowboys should be a fun game. Wingate, Josh Wingate will be paying attention to that. That'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait. At Baltimore, you're going to talk about Tua, everybody, and I know a lot of people hating on Tua really wanted Lamar Jackson, but here's the facts. Tua played only 13 games last year and 13 games the year before. You want to know how many Lamar Jackson played last year? 12. You want to know how many he played the year before? 12. Wow. So will he be available in week 17? Or are we going to be playing Huntley at quarterback? Yeah. We'll wait and see.
You notice something about the schedule before we get to Buffalo?
What?
If you look at the games, start getting to November, it might be a little chilly. Maybe, I doubt it. October 22nd in Philadelphia, but it's not cold yet. It's not minus temperatures.
Oh yeah, I know.
And then you have the Jets on Black Friday, November 24th. It's still going to be plus. It's going to be still 7, 8, and 10 degrees in New York. When I was there in January, it was 60 degrees. Washington, it hasn't snowed yet beginning of December. The only cold game they might face is in Baltimore, and it doesn't get that super cold in Baltimore. So think about it. We only have one true cold weather game, and I'm telling you this right now, the Dolphins better be in the driver's seat by the time they get to that game. I think they will. So, I'm not that worried.
Yeah. If I clicked it, you just leave it.
I know.
Somebody got the power. And then, of course, you got the Buffalo Bills in Miami to complete the season, which, again, could have some heavy implications on the AFC East. I love it. Listen, it is a difficult schedule for sure.
Yeah.
But
second most difficult.
And we were second most difficult. And we will wait until we get the final roster because again, Miami is not done. We know this. Dalvin Cook, possible Barry Jackson, who's one of the most respected Miami Dolphin insiders, said they are talking to offensive linemen. Dolphins aren't done. Even right now, you could make a prediction off the schedule and probably be favored for Miami to make the playoffs. But let's wait for the offseason to complete before we make any crazy predictions. I will say, though, because I'm seeing a lot of Tua's injured things. I was posed a question on Finn's Talk today between me and Hank, which will be, again, this Saturday. We got Jason Sarney on the show as our guest. We're very excited about having him. Ultra nice dude, great guy. He goes to all those MetLife takeovers. He'll be on the show. But I think the week before, we talked about over-under. How many games do we expect Tua to play this year? Over-under 13 games. What do you think, Evan?
Over.
I say over as well. Do you have a number in mind?
16.
16, that's fair. I have 15. I have 15 games.
Because I have a feeling that the games where he might play is really towards an end of the season, or I think he'll start 16. I think he'll start 16 and he'll start 17 because I have the structure, and I talked about it on the other show, and I talked about on Real Talks on the bandwagon. With Tua this year, unlike other things where people were worried if he's going to get injured, now the concussion thing with his neck, what are you trying to do in learning how not to fall? And people were talking about it. I talked about it. And a lot of people have been, Trey Brewski made a really good point on NFL Live, is that it teaches him how to fall. If you notice, every time he fell, he whipped his head. The reason he's doing the things with his neck, the reason why he's getting stronger in that area is to control how he falls. And the fact that he also knows that he can't get rid of, you don't think McDaniel's literally going to be telling him, if you don't, with my playbook, if you don't have it on your first read, get rid of the goddamn football. When you pin your head, count to 3. If you don't have it, get rid of it. I don't care. Get rid of it, hand it off, throw it away. I don't care. he knows that this is his bait. Because you know what? Also, the difference when he goes up against all these teams. Put up the schedule. Put up the schedule for me for a second. I want to make a very key point. He's going against people. I'm not Herbert, who's going to get a big contract. People already believe it. I'm not worried about New England. Denver, the guy already has a contract. But when he's going against Daniel Jones and he's going against Jalen Hurts and he's going to be going against Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson, this guy realizes this guy had the highest passer rating in the league last year. He's making $9 million this year. If all goes well next year, he has $23 million. These are guys making 30, 35, $40 million more than this guy. You don't think he's going to be motivated to say, I belong, I'm just as good as these guys, let me show what I can do? He doesn't want to sit out another year. He knows that if he gets he's one more injury away where he loses half a season he'll never be a starting quarterback for another team. You don't think that's really in his head, that he realizes if he gets hurt again the way he did last year, that basically he can say bye-bye to his career and he's going to be a journeyman where he has to earn the job again like Ryan Tannehill? Give me a break. He knows this. He's so motivated next year. You thought he was motivated last year? This year, he's 10 times more motivated to go against these guys.
So let me just say this very quick. I have him playing at least 15 games. That's where I have him right now.
Well, why do you have him only 15? You think he's going to get injured?
He gets injured every year.
I know.
It's not. I know a lot of people sleep. A lot of people are only focused on the concussions, but every year
he didn't get injured last year. Outside the concussions, he didn't get a physical ailment.
His back.
That wasn't a back injury, it was a concussion.
But that's what they said.
Who cares? They were lying.
Oh, come on.
And I'm the first one. The doctors want, honestly, you know how rigged this league is when it comes to injuries. People, it's the same way in all sports. The same way when you play hockey, it's a lower body injury, it's an upper body injury. No one knows what the true injury is. In the end, we know he was concussed in that Buffalo game, but somehow he's still able to come out and play. Who knows what it was? It could have lingered. Who knows what I could say? I know that this year, if he does what he did last year, get rid of the ball faster, he's going to have a clean year.
John says 13 games. He has it another 13 games.
No
if
way.
It is 13 games, I'm all about him getting. Bobby, he gets hurt every year since college. I know that. And you know what? I'd say he's out one game for injury, and he's out for one game because the Dolphins are so damn good that he doesn't need to play the final game.
I said that last year. Yeah.
How about that? Does that make you feel better?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Don't blush over it. What's wrong with you?
It makes Hank feel better.
But it's true though. It's like, come on, he's been hurt every year, and now we're focused on concussions, but it's either his. And again, you can't control injuries. It's just sometimes some people are more brittle than others.
But honestly, I really think, unlike the other injuries where it was an ailment that he physically can heal from, last year really, I think, is a different mindset for the Dolphins. I think they realized McDaniel knows I have a gold mine. He's tying himself. Like he doubled down on Tua. Think about it. He doubled down on him. You thought he was obsessed with him year one. In an interview, he called him a gold mine. He doubled down on him and is trying to build around them even more. He is literally going to do everything he possibly can to keep this guy healthy. He's literally going to take responsibility for this kid this year. And he's going to build a scheme even better this year for Tua to protect him. And he's basically going to tell Tua, if you don't get rid of that goddamn ball, I'm going to fucking sit you. He's going to, honestly, the guy literally will scare the Tua knows this. Tua is going in there with the confidence that he has to prove himself this year because I have a feeling that Tua, that $23 million, they'll figure out next year they can get another quarterback. That we all talked about this. Mm-hmm. This is the make or break year for Tua, and I'm convinced he's not going to screw it up. He's not going to screw it up.
I don't think it's not about screwing it up because you can't control injuries. It's just what it is.
Of course not.
Screwing it up would be playing the way he did in December before he got hurt for 5 weeks.
Yeah, but I want to go back to December one final time. The Buffalo game was not him. The Green game before he got injured, he was playing extremely well. The San Francisco game was on him.
What game?
The Charger game was on everybody.
What
so
game
in theory, he was really 2-2.
Yeah, but if we're gonna say every time the Dolphins win, oh look at his record, it's a winning record. When we know damn well that most of those wins were not him, we know damn well, but we're gonna count the winning record. But when he loses as the starting quarterback, but that's not on him. Oh, but that was.
I never said that was on him. But the Buffalo game, we all know that the running game. McDaniel got away from the running game when it was working, and that's not on Tua. Tua proved his moxie in the cold weather, and he had a very clean game, did not throw an interception, did everything he needed to do. What are you going to do?
I know Evan calls me negative, but I don't trust Tua at all to stay healthy. Why would you?
Do.
But why would you?
Do.
Why?
Because because unlike last year, this year they've all doubled down on Tua by giving him his fifth-year option and to prove
But that's
to him.
supposed to automatically make his bones stronger and make everything
But his
okay.
bones
Now,
were strong
that
last year.
fifth-year option. Oh, I didn't break my knee.
No, but go look at when he got concussed. When he got concussed in all 3 games, except to take away the Buffalo, that was a bad hit. That was an awful hit by Buffalo. That was a stupid hit. They shouldn't have. The one against Cincinnati and the one against Green Bay, he literally held onto the ball for more than 5 seconds. If he gets rid of the ball the way he normally does and doesn't try to be a hero like you and I accused him of last year, he's going to be fine. Get rid of the ball. If I was McDaniel, don't show 700 plays of Tua to Tua. Show him 700 plays of Dan Marino and time the amount of time Dan Marino held onto the goddamn football.
Yeah, but to say that he's, he's not going to get hurt, I think that's his fantasy.
I never said that. I said I believe that this year he's going to realize that last year he didn't face a lot of pressure, that he's going to have a clean pocket, and that he needs to get rid of the ball and make quick decisions. He has a lot of weapons around him. Utilize them. Stop second-guessing yourself. And the only other key thing for him is McDaniel has to build a playbook that is not totally inside the numbers. He has to be willing to go outside and take chances on the outside of the ball and utilize all his receivers and utilize his type. Do something, but stop throwing the ball on your first read across the middle of the field because people are going to eat that up this year if they continue to do that.
I would say, here's a question to ask, or a question to, if it was to go down, let's say he does miss 2 games. Hopefully it's not 13 games again. But if it is, let's say it's 2 games. As I said, what 2 games are the best games that he could miss due to an injury and where he could come back? To me, it's Commanders and the Titans.
100%.
Those are the 2 games
but I'll put it this way.
Could afford
if he has gone for more than 2 games, by the way, put it up for if he's gone for those 2 games and the team is fighting and clawing for a playoff spot, I don't think Mike White's I told this before, Mike White's not your quarterback. If it happens post week 14 or week 13, week 14, week 15, I'm telling you, Tom Brady will be the quarterback in week 15. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Last 4 games, Tom Brady will be taking you to the playoffs, not him. I promise you that. If he gets injured again. I'm telling you, if he gets an injury that's going to cause him to miss 3 weeks or more, he's done as a Dolphin. He's done as a Dolphin. Because even the 2-and-ons, like myself, are going to basically say to him, unless it's a freak-ass injury where he throws, he literally gets the ball. Like, the only injury that I would never blame him for is if he literally has the ball, he snaps the ball, and Liam Eichenberg, whoever's playing left guard, literally cannot hold on to his man, and literally within 1.5 seconds, the guy literally is on Tua's ankle. That I won't blame Tua for. That's not his fault. But if he does something where
injuries are never the player's fault, unless, like we said, he holds the ball too long. Yes.
Concussions were 100%.
But I'm talking about rolling on the ankle or hitting his back or whatever. Hey, ring. This is Tom. Good night, Rob. I would root against the Dolphins if Brady is the quarterback. I don't want to win that way. I want to win. I want a championship. I want to win. That's what I want. You could do that all you want, G-Man. I'm all about winning. Give me
I'm all about winning and banging my pots in Hialeah.
You're damn freaking right. Absolutely. I get those pots and pans. If the Dolphins go to the Super Bowl, that's exactly what I'm going to Hialeah. And they 59th Street going down and hit those pots and pans.
Yeah, and the whole thing with the whole judo thing, even NFL players, former NFL players, are saying how smart it is for him to do that kind of thing.
It is smart. They do teach you how to fall.
They take you how to fall, but also it makes his neck stronger. But it does. Trust me, when my kid plays hockey, he's only 8 years old. I tell him when he falls, keep your neck up. Do not do this. Do this. Strengthen your neck and lean forward.
Tuck your chin. Tuck your chin.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that's what he has to do. If he tucks his chin in, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I know a lot of people find it funny and they make jokes because look, he's doing jiu-jitsu or judo or whatever. Look, and another thing is the way I see it. Look, they do teach you how to fall. They teach you how to fall and how to do the impact where it's not all on one thing. You kind of spread it out. But again, in a live game situation, I don't know how much that would help you. I don't think
next stronger. If his neck's stronger,
maybe. But let's just hope. Other than that, barring any kind of crazy injuries or anything like that, if Tua's the starting quarterback,
my apologies, John. It's jiu-jitsu. Sorry.
Yeah, it's jiu-jitsu. I thought. Let me just say, I'm happy with the Dolphins' schedule.
I'm very happy.
It's gonna be a good season. Again, no excuses. I don't want to hear anything mid-season. I don't want to hear anything. Not about one thing. Oh, what about this? What about that? Oh, but that guy didn't do it. No, this is it. This is it.
No.
Everything kind of, and it is a tough schedule, but it plays to Miami's favor. That's what it is. It is tough, but it plays to Miami's favor.
The difference is for me, and I want to make it really clear. And I'm not even if I'm not saying this as a homer. Unlike last year, they got better this year. Like they didn't lose talent. They did not. They lose Mike Gesicki, who wasn't even utilized. Outside of that, they did not. And they lost to Landon Roberts. They did not lose areas where they were in a position of strength. They actually got stronger in so many other areas. Now, people can have concerns about the O-line, fine. But you want to know what? Last year, if you go look at the stats of the O-line, that was not the reason why. The quarterbacks hardly ever got sacked. It was never about the O-line. The O-line wasn't a problem because we don't have sexy names, or because we're still relying on these developmental players in Eichenberg and Jackson. That makes us frustrated, and we can go get veterans. But there are going to be so many veterans out there in September. We found Brendan Shell off the street. You know what I mean? Cam Fleming's going to be there. Your O-line are going to appear. Eric Fisher could still be an option. Like there's so many other ways to do it, and there's so many sexy running backs. You don't know. Honestly, think about this: Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, and Dalvin Cook don't necessarily want to be on their own teams anymore. There's still so much that could happen with the Dolphins between now and the month of June, after signing their players, if they sign Christian Wilkins, gain even more cap space on top of the $13.5 million that they're going to get from Byron Jones being cut. There's so much they can do, and Chris Greer is not going to sit on his hands, because for him and McDaniel and Tua, like I said last year, but more and more this year, they're actually doubling down. By going to get a Jalen Ramsey, by going to invest in a Vic Fangio, this is not let's see what happens here. They are going for it. And personally, for me, the best thing that could have happened to the Miami Dolphins, and you might laugh and people might shrug, was Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. You want to know why? Because there's going to be more spotlight and more pressure on the New York Jets this year than on the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins have more pressure on because of the fan base, but in terms of the national media, in terms of all the eyes are going to be on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. It's not going to be on Miami. And Josh Allen's still expected to do well. So you want to know what? The Miami Dolphins, even with all their star power, are going to be under the radar.
All right, so there you go. I feel we have enough running backs, need more running lanes, not more backs. I think you can't sleep on a talent like a Dalvin Cook if he's available to you.
Or Derrick Henry. Or honestly, if Austin Eckler wanted to come here, I would take.
I don't care. Austin Eckler in a heartbeat. Exactly. I'd take Austin Eckler.
Exactly. There's no shame in taking a star first player. You understand that when we had Byron Jones and Xavier Howard going at the exact same time, our defense was great. To have Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard healthy back there, and with the depth we have even more depth there now with Cam Smith. We have Javon Holland. We have Brandon Jones. We have Trill Williams. We have Deshaun Idiot. I like to call him Deshaun Idiot. It's the best name in football. Like there's so much structure there, and Trill Williams. Like there's so much depth there. Like there's so much fun there. And the cool part for me, the only thing that makes me a little nervous, is I don't know what to expect from Fangio's defense. That's why I'm happy to go. Hopefully, when I'm there in July, I can go to training camp again, and hopefully there'll be a practice set. Because I'm very curious to see his defense, because that's going to be that's what people are interested in. It's going to be just like the Miami Dolphins offense came out of nowhere. The Miami Dolphins defense is going to come out of nowhere, because you're getting a guy with so much experience who he even said he's tweaking his scheme, which has been such a success in the NFL. I love that. It's a mystery. That's what I love about the Miami Dolphins right now, is that the defensive side of the ball is a mystery to people, and it's going to scare people. I'm telling you.
There you go. All right, everybody. Look, we are about the hour. It is 11:08 p.m. Eastern time. G-Man, Eckler, Henry, Cook are fine. Brady, no way. We're going to leave it at that. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. John Santos, G-Man, Christopher, Rob, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. Evan, thank you for taking your time to come on here talking Dolphins schedule. Love it. So we got tomorrow is Friday. I think we are free unless something happens. And we got Saturday Fins Talk today. Again, tune in for that. We got Jason Sarney joining us of Mighty Sports Music. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be awesome to have him on. And then, of course, we got our fantasy football on Sunday, our fantasy football show with Josh Kimmel. It's going to be great. So just tune in, smash that like and subscribe button if you haven't already.
Go Panthers.
Go Heat, go Panthers. That's right. It's put away games. They got to close it out. We don't want them to tie it, especially the Knicks. I can't stand the Knicks fans. New York fans just drive me AWOL.
Especially Stephen A.
Oh, dude. Oh. And then, of course, he goes, I'm going to get all into that. I don't want to do all that. But, oh, gosh, today it just made me laugh. He's all up in his feelings because the New York Knicks players are pissed at him. They know you're fake. But it's all good. Appreciate you. I respect Stephen A. Smith. But anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in. That's Evan Posner. There it is right there. Of the Fins Bandwagon. I'm Bobby Finstalk of the Finstalk Sports Network. We appreciate you all. Smash that like and subscribe button. And most importantly, as always,
Fins up, everyone.
Later.